Let's see, let's go to. Ms. Wolski, did I pronounce that correctly? Yeah. I had an interesting conversation with a woman I went to high school with. Her son has been disabled from schizophrenia since he was 23. That's significant because apparently you can't get your parents' Social Security upon their death unless you're diagnosed with your disability 22 or younger. Now, I'm struck that under the Affordable Care Act, we've extended, and that was actually a Republican proposal that they incorporated, about the only good thing about the Affordable Care Act, that if you're on, you can stay on your parents' insurance until you get to age 26. So we kind of acknowledge that there is an extension of a youth's kind of dependence upon a parent. But if you are diagnosed with your permanent disability at age 23, you don't qualify to get the parents' help, which means that you've not lived long enough to get your quarters to Social Security, to get your own money, but you don't qualify for your parents either because you qualified after 22. Now, that's kind of a long introduction, but you spoke about severely disabled children. Any thoughts about what I just proposed and any potential solutions?
Thank you for the question.
And can you pull that microphone a little bit closer to you, please?
Sure. Thank you for the question. I think you raise a very complex situation that families deal with in addressing disabilities among their children. And I think you're correct that age 22, that in order to qualify for benefits on a parent's record, you have to have that benefit. You have to show that you've had that disability prior to age 22. That is in the statute, so I think that is something we would be willing to work with you with and provide technical assistance on any changes.
And I'm struck at 22, most people will not have their 40 quarters. I'm thinking that's right.
That would be correct. However, I think young people really need less than 40 quarters to cover.
Say it a little bit louder.
Young people who are working can be insured for disability benefits with less than 40 quarters of coverage.
Got it. Okay, that's good. Thank you. Now, I think this has been asked before, but I have a little bit of pride of ownership, so I'll do it again. Mr. Morton, I'm a little frustrated. Secretary O'Malley recently said he put the brakes on updating the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, and I think someone's addressed this, but again, I'd like to go back over it. And I'm told that the Social Security Administration has spent at least $250 million modernizing the dictionary, but it's not being implemented, meaning that someone may not get SSA or SSDI benefits because SAA says they could be an elevator operator. Well, not many elevator operators left around for someone to be. So Senator Brown and I introduced the Improvement Employing Opportunities for DI Beneficiaries Act, requiring the updated vocational list to be made every 3 years. That would capture new jobs in the technology space and eliminate obsolete jobs. Can you talk about how SSA's outdated vocational dictionary negatively impacts beneficiaries' ability to either stay in the workforce or get their SSDI benefits?
Sure. So SSA's reliance on the Dictionary of Occupational Titles, which was last updated in 1991, has certain job categories that are no longer particularly prevalent in today's workforce. And so this can affect people in different ways. So someone may, using the older jobs data, be determined, that they cannot perform certain older jobs that no longer exist, so they may be denied benefits. While other people may be said, well, yes, you can't do these older jobs when they could actually do maybe some more newer jobs that exist in the current economy. So they, may be awarded benefits when they could actually potentially do other jobs. So there are different effects. People may be denied because of the older data, or they may be granted benefits because of the older data. And using newer data may, sort of flip that around and would, presumably improve the accuracy of the determinations that SSA performs.
I recently met a man who is a quadriplegic, and he actually has a job as a data processor, an intelligence analyst, if you will, a data processor, which that he would not have had that job before, but he's gainfully employed doing really good work as a quadriplegic. Mm-hmm. So I think that illustrates what you just said. Now, I did, and you may or may not want to comment on this, but I read an interesting editorial on this, and it said the Social Security Administration's culture is about processing applications, not about promoting data quality. And And in fact, if the courts and political leaders allow SSA to continue to use the outmoded dictionary of occupational titles in making disability payments, then they will just follow the path of least resistance. Do you agree with that?
I think what I can speak to is that every year I check SSA's budget justification, all of its documents to see what is happening with this new jobs data and pretty much every year there's really no new data. Like we worked with BLS, here's what we did, but there's nothing about what are we going to do next. So CRS awaits, to hear from SSA, what are they going to do next?
Okay, I yield. Thank you.